Again, we'll end this pen of gilts here. Another pair of 2 litters. 2-6 is going to be the bigger, kind of paler pigmented one, and then 2-3 there on the far side is kind of the thinner belt, darker pigmented one. Again, the 2s, Shame on Me, Best Kept Secret, Red 7, Best Man, Mom would have raised Hold the Line, that was at Lackey's. Would have raised the Reserve at Elkhart, and our Sweetheart's Gilt there that the Went crew won a couple shows with 2 summers ago that's working there at Went Livestock.
We can start with 2-3, the one that Abby's chasing, and kind of a wild marked one. She's got some white and some cool different spots, but I'll be curious to hear what Jim thinks of her. But I think for that one, reads to me like a great big one. I mean, is she going to be the one that goes out and just jackpots and wins directly in April? Probably not. But as we look down the line on that Gilt Show career, I think it only gets better and better with time and with age and maturity, because, I mean, her build and her skeleton are so right. Her look is really freaky, guys. I mean, this one's just so tall-shouldered and so extended from her blade forward, but just very correct in all of her angles. I mean, her tail head sits way up on top of her tail set, but still has reach on both ends of her skeleton. So I think a lot of fun parts and pieces on that gilt, and like I said, get that one fired up and fat and soggy down the road. I think that's an elite style big one down the road. But today a little bit greener, but don't let that scare you at all if your goal is the end point. On the 2-6 gilt, I think that one, the kind of more bolder, half-belted one, I think that gilt may be a little contrasting in terms of the pair, right? She's maybe a notch more ready today, just comes with some more shape up high and some more spread. And that gilt has a giant pin set in her. I mean, you study that one just going right away from the camera. She's so wide in terms of her pin set, but yet study where her hock sits inside of her body wall, and she's very correct there. So, something I always look for when I see one that's got that much muscle from behind. Where does their hock sit? Hers checks the box of being correct and in where it needs to be. And I think that the paler color, like Garrett mentioned, doesn't scare me at all, because she looks like one that, with maybe just a little bit of sunlight, just tans right up and darkens right up and doesn't even have a problem. So I think a lot of really exciting pieces about the bigger gilt. But, and honestly, too, I think if we didn't have the one in here that we just talked about being so long-term, I think this gilt not only looks like she could be a good jackpot gilt, but also if your goal is a bigger one, I think she could fit that as well, too, more dual purpose. I know Jim and I have said that a lot tonight, but I think she fits that mold quite well.
Yeah, the pale one there, that dual purpose is the first thing I'd say about her. Again, she's the one that just kind of looks like a breeding gilt, but I wouldn't be afraid to run her in a market show. And she's got a good look. Just those stoutness of features that you kind of associate with a breeding hog more so than a jackpot hog, but yet she still fits jackpot hog.
Yep.
And she could be very good in market. Again, today as she looks, if she develops the same way, I'd probably run her in a breeding thing. But again, you got options all over the place. Jackpot right on up through State Fair of doing either one. Feet and legs really good bone. Just to echo the same things that Jake said. Just everything's put together the way she needs to be. There's a lot of hog there, but all the basics are there, and that's very, very important. And then the outlier, that odd belted one, the slick headed one, the darker one there. I mean, she is so neat looking. I love her look, and some people don't like them skinny and green when they're little. I do personally, because the outcome is always generally so much better, and the immaturity that just is really, really good. And I mean, she is lean and green and everything put together right, but her bones match everything really good, and she's got an awesome look out of her front end. And again, that's the first thing catches judges' eyes, that head carriage with kids cranking them, and it shows off the chest floor, and I think she's going to be just fine from that aspect. And as she fluffs and goes, as you want to go ahead and feed her and get her individually, because these hogs are fed in pens, they're not pampered, and you stick that in an individual pen and actually start tuning on that one the way she needs to be tuned on over a period of time, she is going to be some kind of a beast in the end.
Yeah, she gets dangerous really quick.
No, again, and I think feeding window-wise, I think all these 2s in terms of just build design, make them fit where you want to take them. The darker pigmented one is 2-3. Kind of the bigger scaled, lighter pigmented one there is 2-6.